Welcome, everybody, to the War Zone. This is our top 10 list show here on Combat Wrestling Network. And tonight, in honor of NXT Takeover New York coming out tomorrow night, we are doing the best NXT Takeover matches of all time, the top 10. I can't do this list alone. I'm joined by two great panelists. First, Andrew the Dude Hayes. How's it going, man?
It's going good today. Me and Hunter like each other, but
Yeah.
when we're not competing in trivia. But nah, I'm excited. When he asked me yesterday, I was immediately on board. I love wrestling, and especially I think NXT is the best thing going today in terms of wrestling. So.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. And, of course, we have James Berryman III, JB3. How's it going, man?
It's going good, man. We're back. I'm ready for Takeover, ready to watch this event. I have a feeling that we're making this list today. We're going to have to make another one after this Takeover because all of the matches are going to have to be on it.
Oh, without a doubt. This looks like a stacked card. So how this works is it's just like Rank 'em over at Take 3. We have a nomination process. We get to our top 12. We knock down two of them to our top 10, and then we rank them 10 to 1. Okay, Andrew, kick us off with your first nomination.
All right. I mean, there's a lot of matches I can go with, but I'm going to get with what I think is a must-have on this list. It's actually my number one. It's easily my favorite TakeOver match. It came out last year, actually. My favorite match of last year, and I was lucky enough to see this match live. It is Johnny Gargano versus Andrade Cien Almas from TakeOver Philadelphia. It was funny because as excited I was for this match, I was didn't think it was going to be as good as it was. But after I saw it, it completely blew me away, and I have revisited it many times throughout the past year or so, and I still stand by the fact that this is the greatest TakeOver match of all time.
All right, JB3, on to you.
So you want me to comment on his or nominate my own?
No. Yes or no? Does this make the list?
Oh, it definitely makes the list. Yeah, this is a 5-star match for sure, all the way.
All right, so the first match to get on is Johnny Gargano versus Andrade Cien Almas from TakeOver Philadelphia. I would have said, of course, yes. Had that at the top of my list. 5-star match without a doubt. Slow build. And then really fast-paced towards the end. These guys worked so well with each other. All right, JB3, on to you to nominate yours.
All right, I'm going to go with my number one match, and it's from New Orleans, TakeOver New Orleans 2018. It's the unsanctioned match between Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, and that's my number one on there. And I just have to say, that match blew me away. It's weird because I was upset because the title match wasn't the main event, and I seen them in the main event, but I was like, I know they're going to put on a good match. And the story that they built throughout the match, and even from the hype before the match, oh my goodness, it was like poetic, like everything, especially the finish with the knee brace, all the face, just wrenching it back. It was just, I loved every minute of it. Favorite.
All right, Andrew.
Of course, I'm going to say yes to this one. I mean, there's an argument to be had, I think, to put any one of the three matches. But I think this just has the best story, and this is why it's my personal favorite. I think that this has been I don't think it was quite a year, but it was pretty much been building up for a year. Gargano got blindsided from Ciampa at Philadelphia when Ciampa returned, and it was just a great story all around, and what quickly became one of the best matches in NXT. So it's a yes for me.
Oh, now I would have gave it a yes. Also, clarify which TakeOver was that again? I apologize.
I wrote down New Orleans.
New Orleans.
I'm pretty sure.
All right, I'm trying to keep track in the group chat right here. All right, on to me. Man, I have so many selections, but I'm gonna start with start with one that when I saw it was my match of the year. And it's from a brand that I'm slowly starting to get more respect for, and that is the NXT United Kingdom Championship match between Tyler Bate, the champion, and Pete Dunne. I apologize. Holy crap, what a match. Started out technical style, a lot of holds, a lot of British style of wrestling, and then in came the strikes, in came the high flying. It went, I believe, about 25 minutes of non-stop action, fast-paced. Pete Dunne won the championship and is still the champion now. He's one of the greatest champions in this era, in my opinion. So I'm putting that match on the list. Andrew.
Of course. Again, I have to say yes. This is, again, in my top 5 favorite NXT Takeover matches. This again just blew me away the first time I saw it. Pete Dunne has always been someone that I've been keeping my eye on, that I've always been a fan of, and just seeing him finally get what I think should have been his in the first place was pretty awesome.
Oh yeah. And James, what would you have said?
I would definitely say yes too. It's actually number 3 on my list as well. This match right here, like you said, it was just technical, strong, that British strong style, man. Okay, so I watched the tournament and I was like yes to the whole tournament for the title. But when this match came out and you seen them wrestle, they brought the United Kingdom to Takeover and they took it over because that was the match of the night.
All right, back to Andrew. We are flying through these.
I know. I'm sure it's going to get a little bit more debated. We're just getting the obvious ones out of the way first.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to go with what I think is not only the greatest women's match in NXT history, but just probably the greatest women's match I've ever seen, ever, and that is Sasha Banks versus Bayley at NXT Takeover Brooklyn. This was coming right around when the women's revolution was becoming a thing, and women's wrestling was getting a lot more respect, and I think this helped the fact that women's wrestlers, they're just wrestlers, they're just as good as the men, if not better. No need to call them divas, they're wrestlers, and just the story behind this, how Bayley could not get it done, and to see her finally get it done was something pretty special. So I'm gonna go with Sasha Banks and Bayley.
All right, I'll go to me first. So hard because I'm debating which one I like more of the two. And that's the hard thing because I don't want to have two of the same matches on the list. Sadly, I'm going to give it a no because I think I like the Iron Woman match a bit more. In my opinion, at least. James?
Yeah, I had the same issue because both of those matches were on my list, and I love the Brooklyn match. The reverse Hurricane off the top was just like crazy, but that Iron Woman match, okay, that continued their story that began at Brooklyn. The Brooklyn match was phenomenal, and everyone knows that.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that the match at Respect, it gets overlooked because of the story that was told. Especially, she made Izzy cry.
Yeah.
Like, Sasha Banks was just like, Sasha's ratchet, dun 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 dun, like, and then just to the end, like Bayley basically getting her rawness out, stomping on her with the submission, and then making her tag. Like, I don't want to disagree with you this early up in the podcast, man, Andrew, but I'm gonna have to go for you as well. I gotta go for the Iron Woman match because to me that was better, just by that much.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We're not saying that the match isn't great; it's fantastic, but we just feel like the Iron Woman match trumps it just a bit. All right, James, go ahead.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to nominate another match from New Orleans 2018. It was the other 5-star match, the 6-man ladder match. between Ricochet, Adam Cole, Killian Dane, Lars Sullivan. Wasn't it the Velveteen Dream in that match too?
Yes, he was.
Yeah, it was Adam Cole, Ricochet, Lars Sullivan, EC3, Killian Dane.
EC3 was the one. That match, oh my goodness gracious. I mean, talk about that card, and that opened up the show.
Mm-hmm.
5-star match, all the ladder spots, just everything about Ricochet. I believe that was his debut takeover like that. And I mean, the things that he just did automatically, I mean, it put the whole show like on this level of greatness. So that's my nomination, the 6-man ladder match for the North American Championship.
Andrew, yes or no?
Yeah, no. This match opened up the show, and what an opener it was. It is deserved like every bit of that 5 stars that it gotten, and I think the Moronalo said it perfectly when he goes, man, if they keep on breaking ladders like this, they're gonna need to go to a hardware store to get more. Like, that's how crazy it got. And there were so many insane spots, and it was, I believe, like 35 minutes. It was like close to 40 minutes, I'm pretty sure.
I think it was right at 40.
Yeah, but like you're just like so like invested into the match, and so like just trying to like see what's going on. Like 40 minutes is nothing when you're watching this match.
And I think what really makes this match special is you had no idea who was going to walk out as the winner. There were so many possibilities in that match.
Oh yeah, I feel like that everybody had a right to, like, there could have been a reason why everybody could have been champion. Mm-hmm. I think they went with the right choice. And like I think Lars Sullivan was perfect because you knew like nobody wanted him to win.
He threw a ladder at 5 other men.
Yeah, like, and just him climbing slowly, milking that reaction out of people, I think was great by him.
Elbow drop from Dream off the ladder.
Oh yeah,
so good.
Oh, and then the Death Valley driver.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Driver. Yeah.
Which was even like more insane because like that was pretty dangerous. But
and then Killian Dane holding both men through the ladder.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And then Lars did it too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And then like EC3 took a spot where he was like sandwiched in between ladders and then just got crushed. And then
great spots.
Yeah, Ricochet, when they were lifting the ladder up and he was hanging off of it and he was about to fall and he just like moonsaults or shoot whatever he did off of it, like nothing.
And then what is it? I think another great spot is when just Adam Cole just starts super kicking people. Like
the funniest moment was EC3 and Adam Cole teaming up, and then EC3 just going EC3 baby.
Yeah.
Adam Cole has that look like, bitch, really?
Yeah, and I think very much the right person won. I mean, I guess I wouldn't have been upset. Like, I legitimately like all 6 of the people in this match, but I think the right person very much won.
Oh, so that's a yes for you?
Yes, absolutely.
And it's a yes for me also. So back to me, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. So I'm going to nominate one. Which one? I don't know if this one would get on, but it opened up TakeOver Chicago 2. I'm going the NXT Tag Team Championship match, the Undisputed Era versus Danny Burch and Oni Lorcan. You talk about a match that came out of nowhere. I was expecting an okay match, but holy shit, they gave us a 25-minute match where you had no idea who was going to win. Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch had so many near falls in that match. It could have gone either way. I love tag team matches that open up TakeOver because you know that that's going to be a huge possibility for a match of the year and a match of the night. And I think it was definitely one of the matches of the night. Andrew.
We were talking before the podcast, and I go, there's a couple on here that I don't know if I bring it up will make it. This was one of them. I am so happy that Hunter brought this up because I absolutely love this match. It is, I think, such an underrated match and not talked enough about because this match is just insane. It is most certainly the best match Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch ever had, and
Oh.
arguably the best tag team match that Undisputed Era has had on the main roster. You know, and it's funny. You look at this match and like. You look at who the fuck is Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch? Like they have no business being here, but you see them and I go, all right, you have my attention now, and now I am a fan for life of Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch. And they really wrestled with chips on their shoulder because nobody, and I mean nobody, really wanted them to win. You listen to that crowd, you just talk to anybody going into that night. Nobody wanted them to win, but I think coming out, I was rooting for them. I mean, and I love the Undisputed Era, but I would not have mind seeing them win that match that night. Just Oni Lorcan is insane. Just some of the spots that he took, especially when he got pushed off the turnbuckle, landed on the ring apron,
just that balls.
Yeah, and that was insane. And I think Cole getting ejected was perfect.
Yeah.
This, I'm so happy you brought this up, man, because I was like, I'm going to bring this up later, but I don't know if it's going to make it on. But yes, it has made it on.
Yes. And James, what would you have said?
You see, I was all up into this match, but I actually got pissed off because, I mean, the ejection, when you look at it, is okay, but that's what I got to debate was the ejection. That pissed me off. And only because Oni didn't win. You know what I'm saying? I think the ejection would have worked if they would have won. I think that because the Undisputed Era is a heel group, they should have had Adam Cole be the reason that they won without the ejection, just had the interference. In my opinion, then it would have protected Oni and what's his face, Burch. So that's gonna have to be a no for me, dog. But I don't know if that matters because you two both won it. So
so it does make the list. All right, going back to Andrew.
All right, I'm gonna go with a match that was arguably the match of the year that year from NXT Takeover Dallas, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Sami Zayn. What a match this was. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, I wasn't really into New Japan in the year 2016. I knew of Nakamura, but I hadn't seen so many of his matches, so I wasn't really a fan of his yet. But I saw this match and I go, okay, I could understand why there's a lot of fanfare behind this guy, and they completely stole the show that night. And Nakamura became a star that night. Unfortunately, they wasted the opportunity.
Yeah, main roster.
Nowadays, but this is the beginning of something special with Nakamura in NXT.
All right, James, Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
This is one of those ones I'm glad that got brought up because I'm in the same exact boat as he was. I had no idea really who Shinsuke was. I knew about Sami Zayn though, and I was fresh off of watching his whole deal with Neville and then Kevin Owens and that whole thing. So this was his final match in NXT, Shinsuke's debut. This is one of those matches that was great, but the crowd made it incredible. Fight Forever chants, and it was just I was locked. So yeah,
that was the birth of the Fight Forever chant, actually.
I was thinking that too. I heard somewhere that it over an indie promotion they started it or something, but
maybe
it's the first one I heard, and that's a yes, a big
yeah,
because that match was incredible.
Yeah, I would have given it a yes. Also, I had that third on my list. Yeah, I knew a bit about Nakamura because I'd watched Wrestle Kingdom 10, him versus AJ Styles, which was incredible. So I had kind of a hype train coming after watching that match, and he delivered. Both him and Sami Zayn both delivered. So yeah, it's definitely a yes for me.
Oh yeah, I didn't really know Nakamura, and I kept thinking, gosh, Nakamura, can't wait for Nakamura versus Zayn. And I go, who is this guy? How good can this guy be? And he was that good.
Yep. All right, James, back to you.
Back to me. All right. I'm going to have to go with a match from Takeover Toronto 2016. It's the 2 out of 3 falls tag team match for the tag team titles between DIY and the Revival. This match just totally, just in my opinion, showed what tag team wrestling was all about. Because not only was it beautifully built up to the match with, DIY's whole tag team deal starting from the Dusty Rhodes Classic, how they weren't even supposed to be there. And then now they're this tag team fighting for the title fight. And then the Revival kept being the Revival and they kept, making it through. And everyone's like, damn it. And then all of a sudden they have this 2 out of 3 falls match. And the match itself, I'm just going to say the whole match was just incredible. But I want to talk about the finish. That was the best finish I think I've ever seen, possibly, because they get in. They tried the same thing with Johnny's leg, because that's how they won it last time with Johnny's leg. But they persevered, and Johnny got him in the Gargano escape, and then all of a sudden Tommaso Ciampa puts him into his submission hold, and then you could see it. Their hands are together. They're rough and tap, and then he stops his hand from tapping. He stops his hand from tapping, and all of a sudden they start tapping at the same time. In the crowd, oh my gosh, that's mine. That's it.
Andrew?
Absolutely. This is definitely, I don't know if it's quite the greatest tag team match I've ever seen. It's definitely up there. Definitely, in my opinion, the greatest in NXT. And the Revival and DIY just had a great string of tag team matches. Like, if you look at how great the tag team matches were in that time, they were great, and a lot of credit goes to these two. These got me back into tag team wrestling when WWE or the main roster kind of made me not care about it. This showed me how great tag team wrestling could be, and this makes me sad because the main roster continues to waste tag team wrestling. But the Revival legitimately is one of the best tag teams in the world. They're definitely the best tag team in WWE. No matter how they're used, they get it. They get the psychology. They get how tag team wrestling is going to be, and they are the perfect heels. Literally, and just how they break up the pins, and how they'll whoever's about to get the tag, and they pull the bumper off the ring apron. It was just perfect, and this match is perfect. And I agree, this is definitely one of the best finishes of all time, where they both hold at each other and then they finally tap, and it's a yes for me.
What a match. What a damn match. Yes, it's a yes for me also. All right, back to me. Which one do I want to go for here? You know what? I'm going to go with one that I didn't know the build to, but seeing who was involved with this match, I got very excited. From TakeOver Philadelphia, Adam Cole versus Aleister Black, Extreme Rules match. What a extremely brutal match this was. The one spot where Aleister Black has the 2 chairs in the middle and just hits a Ushigoroshi on the 2 back ends of the chairs. Oh, that looked so brutal. This match had great ring psychology with great hardcore wrestling. You have 2 of legitimately best wrestlers in the world, in my opinion. One's a great showman. The other one is a very dark, quiet, will kick your head off your body. And they mesh so well. So that's my pick. James, on you.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and say yes as well. I actually revisited this match recently, and I agree. Story, the brutal match, and the super kick out where he super kicked him. He had a chair, super kicked the chair into Aleister Black, and he fell off the ropes through the 2 tables. And another thing about the chair spot, that you had mentioned, Hunter, is that Adam Cole put him up the regular way first, and he's like, no, I'm gonna flip him around, and he flips him around, and then he's the one who goes into him nasty. Brutal. Yeah. I'm going to say this about Cole right now. This is going to be a bold statement about Cole. If the WWE were to take the super kick and say no more, It's a finisher. One person can have it. That's it. It's Adam Cole's. Out of anyone who does it, he's the one who could hold it up, just like HBK used to. Adam Cole's the one.
They tried doing that with Ziggler, but it's not the same.
Ziggler's okay with it, but man, Adam Cole, because Adam Cole, like this is a completely different match with Ricochet. He does that moonsault and he just super kicks him.
Oh, that was a great spot.
Yeah, like all of those, like he utilizes it, and then like in the ladder match, the super kick party. He owned that move more than I think anybody really.
Oh yeah. All right, so Adam Cole and Aleister Black makes the list. Andrew, what would you have said?
Oh, I would have absolutely said yes. Like I said, I was at Takeover Philadelphia, and this was actually the match I was most looking forward to because these are two of my favorite wrestlers right now, and I love hardcore wrestling. So, just a lot of awesome spots. One of the spots that just two that I think nobody talks about a lot that I think just added a lot to this match. Where the one is when Black has the chair and he literally just, sits down in it. I thought that was awesome. And then when they both have kendo sticks and, Black is like, I don't need this and throws it away.
Yeah.
And Cole is like, you're stupid and goes to attack him and Black is just dodging them. I thought that was great. And then, the interference by Undisputed Era was great and Sanity, which is funny because not many people it wasn't shown on camera, but Alexander Wolf and Eric Young come running to the ring. Killian Dane took a sweet ass time walking to the ring. He legit just took his time, and I just thought that was funny. Not that it added to the match.
That was awesome.
Just thought I should throw that out there. Killian Dane.
All right, guys, we have 8, so we have 4 more to go.
All right.
I did count right, correct?
Yes, I counted 8.
All right, Andrew, back to you.
I have a quick question.
All right.
So we said no to his Sasha Bailey match.
Yeah.
But me and you both agreed that the Iron Woman match was better. Did you put the Iron Woman match on that list, or do we have to re-vote for that
one? I think that's one that one of us should bring up, explain why, and then we can vote on it.
Alrighty.
All right.
Andrew, back to you.
It's funny because JB3 literally just mentioned this match. My next match is Ricochet versus Cole from Brooklyn 4. This is so many insane spots. I mean, probably one of the most insane spots I've ever seen is Ricochet going for that backflip and just getting kicked right in the face in midair. That was insane. And then this was just a great match. It was 15 minutes. I think it was the perfect length. Wasn't too short. Wasn't too long. A perfect pace. And ended with, Ricochet holding up the title. I think this really, really made the title mean something this match.
All right. JB3, on to you.
I really enjoyed the match too, the spot, but the match is so every match I see Adam Cole in, he impresses me more and more and more. Ricochet the same, but Ricochet is more just really, really, really good all the time.
Yeah.
So but Adam Cole, man, that dude he just impresses me and impresses me. I'm going to give it a yes.
Adam Cole will be world champion.
Yeah.
He will be world champion without a doubt.
Yes, I agree. And yeah, I have to give this match a yes. I'm starting to wish we had more than 12 spots, but yeah.
I know, so do I. But...
but I can't turn this match down because I loved it.
Yeah.
It was great.
All right, so Adam Cole versus Ricochet makes the list. JB3, it's on to you.
Okay. As much as I want to bring up the size, what do we have, 9 now? So
9.
Yeah, 4 spots or 3 spots left. My bad.
3 spots left.
I have one more that I can vote for no matter what. Okay. So if I have to pick 2 matches on my list left, the first one I'm going to go ahead with this round. I'm going to throw this out there. This was one of my favorite matches. Just again, it was on the War Games 2 card, and I think it gets overlooked because they had the Tommaso Ciampa, I believe, Dream match on there, and the War Games match itself, which is really, really good. But I really, really loved Johnny Gargano versus Aleister Black. You are absolved of your sins. Black Mass,
I'm so glad.
everything. That match was so good. I mean, anyone who's watching this podcast right now, you're an NXT fan. If you haven't, or if you have watched that match, go back, watch Johnny Gargano versus Aleister Black, Takeover War Games 2. And I'm telling you, from the opening bell, they just started a high pace and they never lose the pace. The whole match. And it doesn't compromise their story that they're telling or anything. Like, everything just worked.
All right, going on to let's go to Andrew first.
I was really hoping someone would bring up this match.
Me too.
Because this is absolutely yes. This is my match of the night on this card. One of my favorite matches of last year. I agree with everything that JV3 said. The pace was perfect. And they just kept at a consistent pace the whole time. I think the best moment was when he just holding them up and, like JB3 said, you're absolved of all your sins.
Black Mass, and then picks him up again and hits it again.
Oh yeah, and I think another great moment is when Johnny Gargano is like puts his head on Black's foot. He's like, "Just do it, end me," and he's like playing possum.
Yeah, and he ducks over and tries to sneak one out.
Yeah, and just so many spots that were insane.
Well, another thing about this match that was great, I think, is that Johnny Gargano himself had this story going on, this long-term story going on within himself. You know, it reminds me of like Bruce Banner and you know, with Thor Ragnarok, Infinity War, and an Endgame coming up. He has this his personal own arc. Like, that's how Johnny, through takeover, he had this arc of where he was getting darker and darker and darker, all the way to, you know, what was coming up tomorrow night, where, you know, the build up, Johnny Wrestling's back now. It was a full circle story, and that was just a part of that story. And the match itself told that story and continued that story.
Yeah,
and it's just, that I love that. I love that about the match, and when they can do that in matches.
Oh yeah, and I think the "I absolve you of all your sins" perfectly it captures what the story they were trying to tell, because, you know, Gargano attacked Black, and that was pretty much his way of saying, you know what, you're off the hook.
Fuck you.
Yeah, you're off the hook. Don't worry about it anymore. Let me just kick you in the head a second time.
I would have given it a yes also. This was my favorite match of that card. And the suicide dive into the knee attempt from Aleister Black, the timing it took to hit that perfectly on the jaw without hurting anybody.
Oh, yeah. And
that was a fantastic spot.
And that I haven't seen something that perfect since actually Nakamura Zayn, where Nakamura kneed Zayn in the face when he was going for that DDT.
Yeah. All right, so I believe it's back to me, correct?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, so we have 10 right now. I'm going to bring up an older one.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to bring up, from our Evolution, Adrian Neville versus Sami Zayn, career versus title match. The reason? The story. From Sami Zayn always coming so close to the title. So close, but could not capitalize on Neville. He finally says, you know what? If I can't beat you, I don't deserve to be here. If I'm not going to be at a top level, I'm walking away. And he finally does it in a 30-minute instant classic. You had everything from chain wrestling to high flying to some of the most death-defying moves I've seen at that time. And Sami Zayn finally winning the belt was such a great moment for indie fans and for fans of NXT in general, because one of their talents has been there for a very long time, finally reached the mountaintop after he gave his career to achieve his dream. That's why I'm bringing it up. Andrew?
This was actually one that wasn't initially in my top 12, but as we were getting down, and one of mine did get denied, it moved its way up. So I'm gonna have to say yes. Like you said, the story, it really doesn't get any better than how they did it there. with Sami Zayn just wanting it so bad, and if he couldn't get it, then like what's the point of being here? And he finally does it, and it was such a great moment to only be ruined by Kevin Owens.
Yeah. Which was also a great swerve.
Oh yeah.
JB3, what would you have said?
Yeah, that was a great swerve. To tell you the truth, I revisited this match recently too, and it pissed me off so much. But the only reason is because of how good Neville is and how much it saddens me to see what the WWE did to him.
Yeah.
And it's going to be one of their biggest losses because you watch that match, he's too good, almost too good for what he's supposed to be. I don't want to limit people or wrestlers or skills go to the sky, but that's what they're doing, and that's what they showed. And then I agree with Hunter with the story with Sami Zayn. It was a full circle story again. With something that NXT does really, really well is that they tell long-term stories, and that story was beautiful. Sami Zayn, and honestly, the swerve at the end, that was the icing on the cake for me. Because it someone would say, why did he do that? You could say, because wrestling. That's why. So yeah, it's a yes for me too.
Yeah, and I think if I don't know how long, but one of the most underrated matches in NXT history, in my opinion, is Adrian Neville versus Finn Balor. I believe, which was at either the next Takeover or like the one after that. But that is also such an underrated match that really showed what Neville could do. That also makes me sad that Neville was so wasted on the main roster. But I'm happy he's doing good things again.
Pac's going to kill it in AEW, and WWE is going to be their loss. All right, back to Andrew. We have one more spot left.
I think I agree with JB3. One of the things NXT does is long-term stories. And this, if you really think about it and really want to get technical, they really been building up to this match for a year. And I will explain. That is the second War Games match.
Didn't you just go?
No, that was Hunter.
That was me.
Okay, so now after this one, we got one more?
If this one makes it on, I believe that's 12.
Yeah, that's 12.
That doesn't. I hate that.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Andrew. You go ahead, continue, my man. I'm so sorry. I apologize.
It's all good. But like I said, if you really want to get technical and think about it, they've been building this match up for exactly a year. That's the second War Games match. And I mean, the spots were absolutely insane in this. But why I love this match was the storytelling. I mean, the first War Games match is great, but I think I like this one just a little bit better. And that's because I think the story is better because of how long they've really been building it since that first War Games match, in my opinion.
All right, I'll go to me first. This is so hard, actually. Because there is one match that I feel has to get on. We're already at 11. The War Games match was so good. Yeah, I'm going to have to say no slightly. I'm sorry, but
you're hurting my heart, Hunter.
I know. It hurts me too. It was such a good match, but we have one left, and I think James knows exactly where I'm going with this, but this match, the match I'm thinking of, has to be on this list. So it's going to be a no for me. James?
Yeah, sorry, Andrew. This match was good. The finish, man, was crazy. It's difficult for me to put the War Games matches in here, though, because I don't want to be too petty, but it's one of those situations where, yes, they did tell a great story, but it was a War Games match because it was a War Games takeover. It's kind of like the whole, it's Hell in a Cell, got to have a Hell in a Cell match, no matter what. So now, like I said, the story, they worked it in. It was fine. Triple H knows what he's doing, but I'm going to have to give it a no just because of the same reason. I think there's other matches out there that are better.
James, James, it's on you. I think you know which match I was referring to. Go ahead.
Yes. Now, this is difficult because I want to put two other matches on here too, besides this match that I'm going to say. Hopefully we can mention them in like an honorable mentions.
Yeah, we'll definitely have that.
I'll mention those two matches first. just to get them out there. One of them that I really wanted
hey, let's wait till we get to our actually ranking them, and then we will go to honorable mentions before we get to number one on the list.
Damn it, Hunter. No, we're good. Okay, fine. Yes, you're right. I'm going to bring up the Respect 2015 Iron Woman match, Sasha Bailey. We have to have that on the list. We talked about it when we denied your first one. This is the one I have to vote for, just because that match was so revolutionary for women's wrestling. And the only reason, now this is difficult. This goes along with when we were talking earlier about the Kenny Omega and the Kazuchika Okada matches. If the Respect match never would have happened, the Brooklyn match would be on there. But the Brooklyn match, they had that match. The Respect match built on that match. And like I said, Izzy crying, Sasha's heel work, Bailey's perseverance, and then her extreme nature coming out, which they could have done that in her feud with Alexa. That's a whole nother story. But yeah, I have to vote for that. This was just better in my opinion because it built to the previous story that was already being told, and it culminated in the most beautiful, poetic story in the way to end it with that match. So that's my pick.
All right, Andrew, let's start with you.
I mean, I gotta say yes because I mean, if I say no, it's gonna get out anyway. No, I'm kidding. But no, this is a great match, and I agree with what was said. While I do prefer the Brooklyn match, this is also a great match, and it is revolutionary. But yeah, no, it's bound to get on here, so let's save each other some time.
Yep. So Sasha Banks versus Bailey from Respect makes the list. I would have, of course, said yes. And another thing that made it so like revolutionary is this was the very first female-led main event on any WWE show, on any main pay-per-view event. In my opinion, if that match didn't work as well as it did, we probably wouldn't have got Evolution. Because WWE saw that, hey, fans are interested in stories like this. They went an hour, 30 minutes, and people were invested the entire time. Let's work on that and let's get Evolution done. And Evolution was a great pay-per-view event. Both Sasha and Bailey put on an epic match, both at Brooklyn and at Respect. I feel like with Respect, they were working against the clock. They were also working against each other, trying to get each other's pins. In a classic Iron Man style, the roll-ups, the near falls, Sasha being just a bitch to Izzy, which was hilarious to me for some reason, but maybe I'm just an asshole, but...
Just proving that Hunter has no heart.
Yep, pretty much. So, yeah, that definitely makes the list. And we have our 12, ladies and gentlemen. We have Cien Almas and Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa in New Orleans. Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, Chicago. The TakeOver New Orleans six-man ladder match. Undisputed Era versus Lorcan and Birch. Shinsuke Nakamura and Sami Zayn. DIY Revival. Adam Cole, Aleister Black. Adam Cole, Ricochet. Sami Zayn, Adrian Neville. And Sasha Banks and Bailey at Respect. I did mention all those, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Well, so now we get to the hardest part here, I shall say. Removing 2 of these matches from the list. All right, so write them down, and then we will see which 2 matches will be gone. Give me a second, guys.
We're writing both of them down?
No, just one right now.
Oh, okay. Should have written both down then. Oops.
Right.
All right,
I have mine. All right, we'll start with Andrew.
Only because it did not make my initial list. I'm putting Zayn versus Neville at our Evolution.
James?
I am going ahead. I'm writing it like this is trivia. I'm going with Owens and Birch versus Undisputed Era. The one I gave a no to. Like I said, I didn't dislike the match. I just think that the others were better.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. I have.
Oh God, no! I was really hoping this would make the top 10, but
it was hard. But all of these matches are so good.
I'm just happy it made it up to the top 12 because honestly, I went into this not thinking at all that I go, there's no way this makes it on, but it made it on, so there's some pride in that.
I think for what it was expected to be versus what it turned out to be, that's what really, it was so good compared to what it was supposed to be. But there's so much more.
Why are these so hard to choose from?
Oh, I erased mine, but I'm keeping the same answer because again, it didn't make my list initially. Legit, there are 10 that made my list, and I like this match over the other one that didn't make my list. So.
All right, is everyone ready?
I'm almost ready. This is really difficult.
Yes, it is.
Just wait until we have to start voting ones off, even more.
Ranking these is going to be a fucking challenge.
Oh my gosh.
Nominations were the easy part.
I know.
The ranking is going to be the hell of it.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. Here we go. I'm ready. Oh, man. Here we go. Here we go.
All right, James.
You sure you want me to go first?
Yeah. It's going to hurt my heart. I know it is.
No, well, I have to do this. I have to say Sammy versus Neville. And I'll explain real quick why, because I praised this match 5 minutes ago. But the NXT brand has evolved so much from that time that, like I said, there's just that much more that's just better. I looked at everything else on the list, and it's like a process of elimination.
Oh yeah.
And from what happened with Sammy's character, which isn't completely killed yet, hopefully, and then what they did with Neville, I had to get rid of it.
Yeah, and then Andrew, you have that one also.
Yeah, again, I love this match. Don't get me wrong, but legit, it's one of 2 matches that didn't make my initial list that made our collective list, and I like the one match that didn't make my list better than this one.
Yeah, it was so hard, but I went with Adam Cole versus Ricochet.
Oh my god!
The match itself was amazing. Again, process of elimination. All right, guys, we have our top 10, and it is Almas versus Gargano versus Ciampa, Dunn versus Bate, the Takeover ladder match, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Sami Zayn, DIY versus Revival, Adam Cole versus Aleister Black, Adam Cole versus Ricochet, and Sasha Banks versus Bayley. All right, so vote for what should be number 10. Oh,
this is definitely not leaving the list.
Oh my god!
But by my same logic before, it's the second match that didn't make my initial list when I made it. So,
all right.
I'm ready.
All right, Andrew.
Bayley versus Banks.
Oh,
only if it was the Brooklyn one.
I went with Ricochet versus Cole.
Oh,
no. Look, the reason I picked this is because like it's the same. I can't even explain it anymore. It's the same as everything else. I think this is out of what we have. To be honest with you, I think there's a couple off the list that's a little bit better than this that just didn't make it because we didn't mention it because there's so many matches. But we'll make another list next year, right?
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
So
When
yeah,
I'll cry when Morgan and Birch don't make that
yeah,
list.
Ricochet versus Cole was just to me number 10 out of the group.
Yep. All right, and I also have that. So Adam Cole versus Ricochet is number 10. All right, guys. Now we're voting for number 9. Let's see. The rest of these are so. What the hell, man?
I mean, I didn't even erase it. I did the smart thing for once. I did not erase my answer after it.
You're going to have to give me a second. All right, I'll do this one. I don't want to, but.
I don't want to do any of these, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't either.
I just want to establish what number 1 is, which I hope we can all agree on.
Oh, I hope we can too. All right, I'll start. I have Cole versus Black. Oh, it hurts, but Andrew, I know what you have.
Yeah, Bayley versus Sasha.
James?
This kind of hurts me to do this too, but I picked Shin versus Sammy.
Ooh,
okay. So how are we going to do this? We have 3, unless one of you guys want to change the answers.
Okay. So what is the likelihood that either of you change to Bayley versus Banks?
Not going to happen.
Okay, so
No.
then I'll change my vote. No, I'm serious. I'll change my vote.
Okay.
To save us some time. I don't want to sit here debating for like ever. So I will change my vote. You chose. Okay, I know what I'm choosing.
It's between Cole and Black and Nakamura and Sami Zayn.
Okay, I got my vote.
All right.
I'm choosing Cole versus Black. Because I just prefer. I mean, Sammy versus Nakamura was a thing of beauty. So, and I just prefer that match a little bit better.
All right, number 8. Ooh.
On the bright side, at least what I voted for initially not leaving makes things easy for me.
Yeah? All right, so let's start with James.
All right, so last time I picked Shinsuke versus Sami Zayn. You know, the way you guys are talking about it, you guys put Cole and Black number 9. I kind of agree with you guys now with that kind of, because I really do like that match. So I kind of took that off my radar, and I don't want to do this either, but I'm okay with this being number 8 because this was one of the best matches I've ever seen. Sasha versus Bayley at Respect Iron Woman match.
Andrew?
At least things are going to get hard for me now. Bayley versus Sasha.
I actually had Nakamura to say.
Oh, wow. Haha.
Okay. Okay.
Now I actually gotta think for once.
You thinking? Come on.
Yeah.
So 8 is Sasha.
Oh boy. Damn. Because want to know what sucks? The rest of the matches, in my opinion, are all 5-star matches.
Yeah.
So like that's the thing. Oh man.
So we're voting for number 7.
Okay, I got it. Dad, this hurts me a lot, actually.
You guys are gonna dislike me for this, but
I'm ready.
I swear to God.
Andrew?
Nakamura versus Zayn.
James?
Nakamura
versus Zayn, number 7.
All right. I had the 6-man ladder match.
Oh!
I know. It was hard, but...
Oh, man. Okay.
All right, so number 7 was Nakamura versus Zayn.
Actually, know what I'm gonna pick. I planned ahead. Wait, hold on a second.
We're voting for number 6 now. You know what?
Yeah, no, okay.
You know what? I'm okay with this match being.
I am also okay with this match
Give me a minute.
being 6th.
This is probably not going to make it, but
Hunter just keeps on changing the votes.
I am ready.
all right, Andrew,
I put the 6-man ladder match.
James.
I actually put Johnny Gargano versus Aleister Black. More games 2.
I have DIY versus Revival.
Oh my God, Hunter. Okay.
But
so
you know what?
Persuasion time.
You know what? I'll change my vote to the 6-man ladder match.
Okay, good.
I'm not mad at that.
6-man ladder match. This is number 6.
Number 6. Yeah.
Okay. This is actually a lot easier than I thought. Getting deep into it.
All right. Okay.
You gonna make it? For me, I'm gonna keep it the same. Johnny versus Aleister Black. War Games 2.
Did that match even make nomination? I don't see it on here.
Aleister Black versus Johnny Gargano, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. I guess I forgot to put it down on the list. Okay. Andrew?
I put Black versus Gargano.
I still have DIY Revival. So number 5 is Black versus Gargano.
Getting down to the list.
Yep.
Oh man. This is hard. Like okay, it got hard for me again. Let's see. Okay. Ooh. Okay.
All right. So we're voting for number 4.
Yes. I'm good.
I'm good. All right, James.
I'm gonna go. Sorry, Andrew. Johnny versus CN for number 4.
Oh, that hurts my heart.
But I still put 5 stars. I drew 5 sloppy stars, but they're stars because it was a 5 for me.
Andrew.
Fate versus Dunn.
I still have DIY versus Revival.
Listen, there's no way I'm voting for Gargano versus Almas. So if I have to vote for Revival versus DIY to keep it on there.
Well, I was gonna say I'll change mine to yours.
Okay, that works for me.
I'll change mine this time because I think number 4 can be that. I'll change mine to Andrew's for that purpose for number 4.
Number 4 was what?
Dunn.
Fate versus Dunn.
It
hurts.
Do I do it? Do I? I think I'm gonna do it.
All right.
Oh man, I am so. No, I can't.
Voting for number 3. You know what? Hold on.
I swear to God, Hunter.
Give me 1 second.
If you're doing what I think you're doing.
It's okay that it's in the number 3 spot, Andrew. It's all right.
All right, going to me. I still have DIY Survival.
Oh,
Andrew?
thank God. DIY versus Revival.
Yeah.
I had Cien versus. Yep.
I just realized something. I think our top 3 is going to have Johnny Gargano in one of them.
Yep.
So your 3 is DIY versus Revival.
Oh, boy. Now, are we voting for what we want to be number one? Okay.
We're voting for what we want to be number 1?
Yeah.
All right.
I think I miscounted. Did I?
Nope.
No, you're good.
Oh, yeah, because we're down to Gargano versus Ciampa and Cien versus Johnny, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Final 2. Okay. God damn it, this is so hard.
Nope, this is so easy. This is probably the easiest part about this whole thing for me.
Well, same here. And you know who I picked, and you know who he picked. So, Hunter, it's up to you, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Choose wisely.
Both of them were 5-star matches.
Yep.
Both of them came out in the year 2018.
18, yeah. All right. James, start. Number 1.
Number 1, Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa, unsanctioned fight. I still think grabbing that knee brace and wrapping it around his face and just wrenching back. It was like the beginning of the darkness. At the same time, it ended the story, but continued it at the same time.
Andrew.
Gargano versus Almas. # Uncle Dave.
Down to me. What do I have? Ciampa, Gargano.
Oh, my God.
Ladies and gentlemen, Johnny Gargano ran our list.
I'm pretty sure he made, he was 4 out of the 5. He was, 4 out of, the top 5, which was
So
insane.
number 2 was Johnny Gargano versus Cien. Almost.
I can't say nothing bad about that match.
Oh, no, I'm not.
No.
Honestly, if anything deserves to be number 1 over Almas and Gargano, it's Gargano Ciampa.
And now for anybody who's watching out there and you guys are saying, yeah, but the other Ciampa Gargano matches were so much better than some of the other ones, we went ahead and picked 1 per list as far as trilogies.
Yeah.
There's the reason that the Brooklyn match between Sasha and Bayley didn't make it in, because me and Hunter chose the respect and over it.
Yeah.
So there could be other lists that have multiple matches with the same participants, but we decided to actually pick the best one out of those.
Yep, exactly. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have our top 12. At number 12, it's Lorcan and Birch versus Undisputed Era. Number 11, Sami Zayn versus Neville. Number 10, Adam Cole versus Ricochet. Number 9, Adam Cole versus Aleister Black. Number 8, Sasha Banks versus Bayley. Number 7, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Sami Zayn. Number 6 is a 6-man ladder match. Number 5 is Aleister Black versus Johnny Gargano. Number 4 is Pete Dunne versus Tyler Bate. Number 3 is DIY versus Revival. Number 2 is Johnny Gargano versus Cien Almas. And number 1, Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa at TakeOver New Orleans. What a list that was. Andrew, I'll start with you. What do you think about our list?
No, it's honestly, this is a great list. I'm very happy that while not number 1, at least got number 2.
Johnny Gargano had our top 3 spots.
Yeah, and he was in the top 5 4 times. So
top 5.
So he's definitely the MVP of NXT. You can't deny that now. Because this list is an absolute fact. No more opinions. No one else's opinions matter. But no, I'm just kidding. But no, I'm happy Lorcan and Birch got at least in the top 12. Because that was the one I wanted most out of all the... Because there were ones that I knew were going to make it, like Gargano Almas, Gargano Ciampa, Bate Dunne. I knew all those were going to make the list. But one that I was kind of really hoping to make the list that I wasn't sure was Lorcan and Birch versus the Undisputed Era. So I'm happy that. But, I can't argue with any of these being on the list because they're all so great.
Yep. James, thoughts on the list?
I think that the list is good. I appreciate the list. You know, I want to get to honorable mentions because there's so
Oh,
many
yeah.
other good
I
mentions.
forgot. I'm
But
sorry. Go
but
ahead.
we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. So just real quick, the list itself so difficult. NXT Takeover produces some of the best matches in wrestling history.
Mhm.
And I think they're going to go down as that. And, people keep talking about, Triple H. I can't wait for him to take over the WWE. I don't want Triple H to take over the WWE. I want NXT to take over the WWE.
And we're slowly getting there. All
We
right.
are.
So since I forgot the honorable mentions, James, you start with a few of yours. Then we'll go to Andrew, then myself.
All right. I'm going to start. It's one that I really wanted on the list. It's one of the most recent. It's the most recent takeover. It was last takeover Phoenix.
It was the North American Championship match between
Ricochet and Johnny Gargano. To me, that was another one of those matches. Like every single takeover card, I keep saying this. You keep saying this. You keep saying this. This is going to be the best takeover we've ever seen. And it ends up being the best takeover we've ever seen. Takeover Phoenix. I think 4 or 5 matches on there. And that match, Ricochet is incredible. So the finish of the match, Johnny hit that, springboard over the top rope, DDT. And the way Ricochet took the bump, he kept his feet on the ground and then slammed his head and just stood in that position. Goes for the pin. And then Johnny Gargano wins the North American Championship. That right there, to me, honorable mention, because that match was incredible. It shows how good Johnny is. I know Johnny is just taking over this whole list, but
Yeah, he is. He really
he,
is Johnny Takeover.
yeah, he's incredible.
All right. Any more that you had on your list?
Any more? Yeah, I have probably 2 more, to be honest with you. I won't go too long into each one. Grab my list here. See, the other match I want to bring up is another tag team match. It was after the Toronto match, the 2 out of 3 falls. It was a triple threat between DIY, the Revival, and AOP. That match was again. Now you could talk about how stories get told, and the DIY story got told with the Revival, and it was done. But then AOP debuted, and they were this big hoss tag team, and then all of a sudden they get a title match. Revival wants a title match. DIY is the champions. Here we go, triple threat match, and I'm over here watching this match, and I go nuts because I see the Revival and DIY working together and intertwining their finishers with each other. Like I think it was like maybe Ciampa who lifted someone up and then they hit the shatter machine, and then Dawson and Gargano are like doing this thing with their hands, and they hit the other finisher, and then
Correct?
I
No,
don't
that
think
was
it's a triple threat.
it was an elimination match.
That's right. That's right.
Right.
Um,
I mean, talk
your
about
other
the
one?
ladder match too. The ladder match, we could bring that up with this one because that is also another honorable mention. I just want to bring up the spot from the ladder match. If anybody watches NXT and wants to get into tag team, watch the triple threat ladder match or the triple threat elimination match. But also watch the ladder match between AOP and DIY because that's the takeover where at the end Tommaso Ciampa turned on Gargano at the end of DIY.
That bastard.
There was a spot where Ciampa was going to get hit with a ladder, and Gargano pushes him out of the way and takes the full shot. And I was just like I almost cried because I was like, he took the hit for him. He's like he loves him.
Oh yeah.
And then that bastard Ciampa.
Oh, but I think that ladder match should get a special mention because and I've gained more respect for that match as time went on because of what Ciampa did in that match. Like he straight up tore his ACL and still went on with that match. Like he tore it in the middle of that match and jumped off a ladder right after he tore it. I go, that's insane. Like Ciampa is a monster.
Yeah.
Like he is not human. How does he do it?
And without that match in that turn, we wouldn't have got our number 1 spot. So.
Oh yeah. And the last match I want to bring up for honorable mention is actually it's a match that I watched today. Paige versus Emma at Arrival 2014.
Yeah.
To me, that was the match that broke the women through the ceiling, the first official ceiling for what was coming for them. Because Paige was the champion, and then they had that match. It was the Takeover Arrival, and it showed what they were all about. And I think that's what really sparked a lot of that sparked a lot of the oh, they can really go in the ring. That, to me, that match, I have to just make a mention of that. It was only about 16 minutes, but they made a big deal out of it. Stephanie came out. Man, Stephanie came out immediately. I was just like, boo! Boo!
Boo you, man. Boo you.
Yeah, that's the other one I want to mention. That match, I revisited again, like I said, recently. And God, Paige, I'm so sad for her. I wish that she didn't have to give up so early on her career. And Emma,
Fighting with My Family is so good.
Tennille Dashwood, watch her in ROH. I think she's in ROH right now. I think her contract is up. She's probably going to go to AEW. So, guys, I'm telling you, that was the spark. If anybody wants to get into NXT women's wrestling too, women's wrestling, that has to be one of the top 10 women's wrestling matches in WWE history.
Yeah. All right, Andrew, on to you for your few.
All right. I mean, JB3 did mention a lot of my honorable mentions, so I do have a couple more I would like to mention. One from I believe also from Arrival, Cesaro versus Sami Zayn.
It was Arrival, wasn't it? That was the opening match.
That was.
That's on mine.
that was pretty insane, and I do want to. While probably would not have made the list, I do want to mention these matches because I do think they're underrated and should be talked about more. Balor versus Tyler Breeze. Takeover something or other.
It was the number one contenders tournament.
Yeah, it was Takeover. It was right before Brooklyn.
Yeah, I want to say it's Our Evolution.
Well, that was the title.
It might have been Rivals because
Rivals. Yeah.
It was that's a very underrated match. Probably Tyler Breeze's best match. Also, two more that I'm going to mention that I also think are extremely underrated. Tyler Breeze versus Juice and Thunder Liger from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I knew you were going to bring that up. Yes.
Very underrated match. And probably one of just the most underrated matches ever.
Liger's only match in WWE history.
Yeah. And this match, I mean, the tag team wrestling was kind of getting hot around this time. And I think not a lot of people give credit to this match because both teams are underrated, in my opinion. It's also from TakeOver Brooklyn. The tag team title match, Blake and Murphy versus the Vaudevillains.
Yeah.
I was in Brooklyn for that match. I was live.
Comes out.
The crowd was so hot for that match. And very much elevated that match, and the storytelling was pretty good. And Blake and Murphy don't get enough credit as how good they were as a tag team.
Especially Murphy. If you go back and watch that match and pay close attention to Murphy, you can see the best kept secret. How he said he was the best kept secret, you can see it if you pay attention. And
they were doing Revival stuff before the Revival got big. Obviously, the Revival is a lot better, but they were doing the Revival heel stuff before the Revival was doing the Revival heel stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
And then any other ones off the top of my head that I can't think of? I mean, Nakamura versus Aries was also pretty good, but I also think that would have made my list. But yeah, no, I just wanted to give a little mention to some of the more underrated matches in NXT.
All right, I actually have, I think, 4 or 5 left. I have the NXT Championship 4-way match from TakeOver Fatal 4-way. Neville, Kidd, Sami Zayn, Tyler Breeze. What a great match.
Oh, yeah.
I have DIY, Authors of Pain, TakeOver Chicago. War Games 2, which was brought up. Undisputed Era versus Pete Dunne, Ricochet, and the War Raiders. I wanted to bring this up so bad because I love this match. Takeover War Games 2, Aleister Black. Or, I'm sorry, Takeover War Games 1, Aleister Black versus Velveteen Dream.
Yeah, that's another one. That's another one. I forgot about that one. Thank you. That's another one that I.
Oh, say my name. Say my name.
Oh, and at the end where he said it,
and the whole crowd goes wild for it.
I'm gonna be honest. I had my doubts about Velveteen for that match, not about his abilities, but I wasn't behind the character. I thought it was gonna be another stupid Goldust gimmick.
So did I. Yeah.
And that was the coming out party for Velveteen Dream. That proved Velveteen Dream was not only a great gimmick, but he's a great wrestler, and he just gets it.
Dude, I'm so excited for him and Matt Riddle tomorrow night.
Oh, that is going to be insane.
God.
That's going to be great. And one of the things that I was going to say, one of the things I love about this Dream and Aleister Black match is I agree. I didn't have too much hopes for the match. I didn't have too much hope for the character. I knew Patrick Clark was great. I did like the character, but this is another one of those situations where you have a story that intertwines with the crowd hype, which intertwines with the match quality, the match skill, and the story they told in the ring. And by the end of this match, you're right. Dream was a made man. And Aleister Black doing these little one-liners to put people over. Aleister Black put him over, even though he lost.
All Black had to say was Velveteen Dream. And he was made right there. That's how you know someone's going to be a star. Is they can say something and make you.
Oh, and also, like, not that I didn't like Black before this match, but like, I saw his match against Almas, and that was a really good match, like a really, really good match. But like, I was like, Black is a good wrestler. He has a great look. I like what they're doing with them. But like, this match also, in a sense, was a coming out party for Black, because I go, all right, give this guy the title right now. After that, give this guy the title right now, because he is something special.
Yep. And then finally, my last one is the NXT Championship match from War Games 2, Tommaso Ciampa versus Velveteen Dream.
I have a tiny few problems with that, but that match was so good.
Dude,
it was a little long.
Go ahead.
I was just saying it was a little long. You can go ahead.
Oh, yeah. That's my thing. It was a little bit long, but like it picks up towards the end like so much, and like it just gets so good.
The one thing that I love about this match is how Velveteen Dream was so calm and collected through the entire match, and at the end of the match, that inexperience comes in. He tries one big move and fails, and that cost him the title, which is the Purple Rainmaker from the top going and hits the outside, and that ending sequence of Ciampa just hitting it with a DT right on the steel. Oh, beautiful, because he used both rings. And he used that steel barrier in the middle to his advantage. So then
and just Dream doing the Hogan stuff was like pretty awesome. Like it was cool. Just seeing him like hulking up and doing the big boom.
That was him and Ricochet. He did
it twice.
Yeah, he was Hollywood for this match.
Yep, that's right.
And then he was regular Hogan.
I love the part where he's in the Ciampa has him in the sleeper hold. He's just like drooling. He's like trying to fight.
That was disgusting, but like a perfect Ciampa move.
It is. So those.
So was the finish.
Oh,
like you said, Hunter, when Hunter brought up when he dropped him on the steel, that goes back to when he won the second match with Ciampa when he dropped him on the wood. Like it's all he's all about doing that kind of stuff. So that was a nice touch for his character.
I also want to bring up one more. Drew McIntyre versus Almas. Was a very good match. Sucks that it ended with Drew getting injured, but it was still a very good match.
Another match that I legit just thought of that I need to mention. Very underrated match. Doesn't get talked about a lot. Roderick Strong versus Almas from Takeover San Antonio.
San Antonio?
I want to say it's from San Antonio.
That sounds right.
I'm going to go back and watch that.
That is such... I remember watching it live, And I go, oh, that was a good match. My friend told me, and he goes, listen, and this is before Gargano versus Almas. He goes, this is actually like right after the first Gargano Almas at Brooklyn 3, I believe. I go, that was a good match. It's probably Almas' best match. He told me to go back and watch Strong and Almas. And dude, like that match is so good.
Yeah, it's really damn good. Okay, guys.
Hold on, I have to add one more. I'm so sorry. Because, like you said, there's some that we just have to mention.
Yeah.
And this one has to be mentioned. It's from NXT Rivals 2016. It's another women's match. The Fatal 4-Way match between the 4 horsewomen.
Oh,
Bayley,
yes, absolutely.
Sasha, Charlotte, and Becky.
Yeah.
That, I think, in my opinion, if you were to take like so you know how people say in the MCU, if you will, they'll say if you take out of the 21 movies or 22 movies, if you take these 5 and watch these before you watch Infinity War, you'll be good to go. That's one of those women's matches, I think. If you're going to watch like a women's match, like let's say the one that's coming up right now, which ironically is a Fatal 4-Way match.
It's triple threat thing, isn't it?
No, it's Fatal 4-Way. It's Sane, Baszler, Belair, and Shirai.
NXT Championship match. I thought you were talking about WrestleMania. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm talking about Takeover. Yeah, Takeover.
Right.
The Fatal 4-Way match for the NXT Women's Championship. Yeah. So, not only did it showcase how good each individual one of those women were, it also showed how good NXT was. And I think that if you were to, that's on the list of women's matches that you would have to watch for the build. Maybe even like that's the second match. Maybe the one to watch before Brooklyn. And
yeah. Oh, and that adds so much to Brooklyn and to the Iron Woman match.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to add a lot more to the future feud that might come up this year later between the 4 horsewomen of the UFC and the 4 horsewomen of the WWE.
Yeah, I mean, this was actually the first takeover I watched like live, and I mean this was the match that got me into, because that's like, all right, women's wrestling is pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah. And then one more I want to bring up, Asuka versus Ember Moon. The first match was brutal. It was really good. Ember came so close to beating Asuka with the Eclipse, and Asuka kind of doing a heel move, hitting the ropes, crotching her, and then hitting her with a spin kick was a really good ending to that match. All right, guys. We've gushed about these matches enough. Let's get to the plugs. Let's start with James. Where can people find you online?
All right. First off, you can find me every Wednesday, 3 p.m., 3:30-ish, for what we call now the Raw SmackDown Breakdown. We're looking at possibly changing the name, getting it maybe a little bit more unique. We're working on it. We'll take some suggestions. Yeah, me and Adonis, we break down Raw, we break down SmackDown. We don't break down the whole show. We break down just the best parts. We like to keep it easy. You can also find me on Facebook. I'm the simple guy, James Walter Berryman III. Don't spell out the third, please. Just 3 eyes like Kurt Angle.
All right, Andrew, go ahead.
You could find me at Combat Wrestling Trivia on this channel defending my Combat Wrestling Trivia World Heavyweight Championship.
You're losing that belt.
Where I could possibly be facing one of these two. I don't know yet. But you could also see me all over the internet, Full Metal, Multiplex. I'm on there. Or my own YouTube channel, Andrew Hayes. Just Andrew Hayes. So.
All right. And if you, before I say anything, I will be starting an NXT recap show after Takeover New York tomorrow night. So next week will be the very first episode, which will be our recap of Takeover. And also, if you guys enjoyed that, hit that like button, subscribe to Combat Wrestling below. Thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.